Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Welcome to Take It from the Iron Woman. My name is Susanne Müller, your host and the Iron Woman. This podcast is about empowering yourself and others to make real changes in the world. You will hear from everyday, smart, sophisticated, hip people like you and me. Not everybody has to be an Iron Woman to impress the world. Together, we will learn from the sports and business leaders how you can become a more successful person as an entrepreneur or a leader. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. Take your steps now. Take your big steps now. Join me on this journey to success. Take It from the Iron Woman. We have an extra episode with Dr. Annie. We talk here about intuition. Intuition is a big word. It's a little buzzword these days. How can we use it? How should you use it? Even though we don't want to tell you how to do it. But don't give up and use your intuition much more and learn from Dr. Annie. Tell us more about how you use intuition or how others should use intuition. I mean, I love intuition. I use it all the time, especially as a coach. Sometimes I ask a question and then people say like, wow, this was really a good question. I don't know why I asked that question, but it just felt the right question in the right moment. Tell us more about how you use intuition or how others should use intuition.
Okay, I'll maybe say a few things. In the way I understand it, there are layers to intuition. And so one layer is the fact that we are only experiencing a very small, right? Our brain filters out most of the information coming to us for the benefit of our survival. We don't see the entire spectrum of light, for example, where other animals can. And so one layer of intuition is this idea that our nervous system is not just in our brain, but in our entire body. And that system is very complex and is receiving information from all over our local environment that is not necessarily processed and cognitively understood in our brain. The word for this is interception. So those are the signals that come from our body that we interpret in some way, maybe without necessarily being able to say how. There's these studies they do with people that are able to guess which they have these decks of cards, and one deck leads to good outcomes and other plays lead to negative outcomes. And at the end, people will be able to consistently kind of get the better outcome. But when you ask them to explain the rules of the game, they don't know. So that's an example of the first, what I would say is kind of the first layer of intuition. And I have been recently taking graduate level course at a university overseas remotely on post-materialism, which is the idea that it's not an idea. I believe it to be true that consciousness is actually the foundational layer of reality, which now makes many types of intuitive experiences possible. So if everything is matter, that's the kind of old paradigm. In science, we're seeing a shift from a materialist paradigm saying at the bottom, everything's matter, it's just particles bumping around, to post-materialism now saying actually consciousness is foundational. And from that place, now a lot broader. So the first type of intuition I described, still possible in a materialist paradigm. The more maybe complex layers of intuition or being able to receive non-local information are true and honestly to be expected in a post-materialist view where consciousness is foundational. So the second part of your question was how should people use intuition? I don't like to tell really anybody how they should do anything.
No.
And what I will say is that the cultivation of it, I believe, is incredibly important for the future of human evolution. If we think about what technology is capable of now with AI, and that the ability of technology to do standard pattern recognition, which we would maybe identify as that first type of intuition I was describing, the AI is fairly competent to do that now. And so it may behoove us to begin exploring these other types of intuitive sensing or sensing beyond our five senses. So as to continue human evolution, and it's really not far out. People have had those types of abilities to understand, receive, and interpret information that is not available through their five senses. We've known about this for an incredibly time. It's been generally suppressed within certain ways of thinking. So I'm not telling anyone what they should or shouldn't do, but just to encourage an openness, what may be new to them, new ways of intuitive understanding. And you were saying this, you do this in mindfulness coaching. I just want to give a huge, huge promotion for meditation. I meditate every day. I have for years now, and it has totally changed my life in terms of what is available to me, the way I feel, the way I show up in the world, my ability to regulate my emotions, all kinds of things. I can't speak highly enough. Everybody get an app for meditation. If you haven't started yet, it will change.
I will change.
And it literally changes your brain. Think of our brain as a radio receiver. It allows you now to fine tune the station that you're tuning to. It's just a practice for cultivating that tuning, which is a beautiful and powerful thing. I can't speak highly enough.
And we know the Dalai Lama says if you have a difficult day ahead of you, meditate more. Meditation is also a focus. It's not like sitting, laying. It's a focus that you are emptying out and you don't have that clutter in your head. I always see that picture, the mindfulness. You can be mindful, but if your mind is full with the clutter, you cannot be mindful with yourself because that's where it starts first. And then you can help others. Meditation is really cool. I wish I had a little more time. I need to make the time. I know that's what it is, but I know meditation is really cool. What do you do when you don't work or meditate? Is there anything else that you have time in your busy schedule?
I do view my meditation and other spiritual practices as joyful. To me, those are something that occupies my free time, so to speak, just because of the profound, it creates a snowball effect when you begin to see the change in your own life. And then as that grows, it's no longer, at least for me, it's no longer just this morning, for example. I was talking, I am blessed to live with my best friend as my roommate. And I woke up this morning, I slept in a little bit. I slept in till like 7:30 or something because it's summer. I know. And she was up and I was telling her, "Oh, I don't feel that motivated today." And she said, "Well, you haven't meditated yet." And I said, "Oh, right. That's why I'm like this." I do view that as a hobby in a sense. I enjoy doing it. It's not like answering my emails or something where it's a thing on this list of things I have to do. And I love to read and I love to walk my dog and I love to spend time in creation, just to create, because I believe we are here for the joy of creating. I love to create music that is not good and to create art that is not good and I love to create experiences. Oh, I would love to plug that too. My team and I are creating art that will be out in November. I'll have it on my Instagram at Annie Are We Okay? And so if people want to see some of that art, there's a team of artists that are creating digital art about returning to our imaginations, about putting our phones down and returning to the power that lies inside our own imagination.
Wonderful. Magic and inspiration and creativity. Let's stop here, but thank you so much for giving us so many insights into a topic that is relevant, and we want to celebrate that also on our 500th episode. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
What are you taking away from this fantastic conversation? And let's celebrate together. Thank you, Dr. Annie, for all the insights, learning that we can take away from here. And there's a lot of work ahead of us. Take it from the Iron Woman. We have episodes every Monday. Come and join us, learn with others, learn from others, experience different things that you are not exposed to today. And Take It From the Iron Woman is also the book Global Business Coaching with Sports Parallels. Download it or get it in your local bookstore, but also like and subscribe to our podcast. You can find it on the platform where you're listening to this podcast now. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.